all set to go. Got the brackets. Everything is here. I'm getting the screen set right now. Gus, congratulations. It is Christmas in March, man. How you doing?
Fabulous. So glad to be here with you and the listeners and the viewers and the subs, getting everybody ready for March Madness for the big show for you and Cutri you have going on later. So let's roll this thing.
Man, I am on brand. I just want everybody to know I'm on brand. We're ready to go. Rock and roll, folks. Listen, a lot of stuff to talk to you about, a lot of stuff to share. Can't get ready. First thing, we're going to kick it off right here. I got announcements. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
First off, Jason Graham, congratulations on the free FTN Bets package. Folks, you have made this show incredibly popular. Oh, it's all to you. We picked a winner at random. Everybody at FTN did. Jason Graham, go to any of our FTN social accounts. You can look at it there. Free package across the board. FTN Bets. Get there. We will get you connected. Thank you so much. And for everybody else, promo code is FTN March. FTN March, one word there. You get 35% off of what we have going on FTN Bets, and we have incredible stuff. Frank Brank is running his models right now. You know that his models work because we ended up hitting a huge one there with Oregon winning the Pac-12 tournament. Mike Cutri's ready to go. Mike and I are going to be back at 9 o'clock p.m. tonight picking our brackets live. Mike's on a heater of all heaters. He just went 3 for 3 on teams in or out of the NCAA tournament. He's up over 250 units. You got to join us here at FTN. I can promise you it's going to be great. We have content across the board. Anything you want, you got to join us here at FTN. We're ready to go. Gus, it's Christmas in March. Let's go through the brackets. What we're going to do, guys, is we will give you initial reactions. So I'm going to ask each bracket, first thing that comes to mind, favorite opening round games, upset alert, and sleepers. All right. So, Gus, let's go through it, man. Here we go. First one, we will start with the East region. UConn, Stetson, FAU, Northwestern, San Diego State, UAB, Auburn, Yale, BYU, Duquesne, Illinois, Morehead State, Washington State, Drake, Iowa State, South Dakota State. The floor is yours. Initial reaction when you saw the East bracket.
Easy. Put UConn through. Second one. Can the Owls pull the same trick that they did last season from the 8-9 game and work that magic again? And the other part that I paid attention to was BYU can totally make an Elite Eight here. And I know this goes against your Iowa State, but I feel like they might have a pathway to get to the Elite Eight and then maybe meeting UConn in that spot. What about you?
Right. Yeah, first reaction, Gus. Have we ever had a bracket that had the Big East tournament champion,
right?
The SEC tournament champion,
right?
The Big Ten tournament champion, and the Big 12 tournament champion? I mean, there's brackets of death, and this is at a different level. I'm going to save my picks for the show later on, but my initial reaction, Gus, what is going on with this? You would think somebody in the room would say, we can't put the 4 big conference tournament champions in the same bracket, but get your popcorn ready. That's what jumped off the page. Yeah. Moving on, Gus. Next one here. Favorite opening round games. So anything here, favorite opening round games, things you like. What do you got?
Right. I think this one's easy. Washington State versus Drake. You want to see if Drake can right the wrong that happened last year, and Tucker DeVries especially going like 3 for 15 in last year's opening round game. Will that get straight? And Miles Rice is one of the best stories in the tournament and one of the best stories in college basketball. So I'm so looking forward to that game. Do you have a game that you're kind of like keyed in on here, Mike?
No, I just, the San Diego State UAB one is interesting because San Diego State cannot shoot when they're home, they're lights out, but at neutral court, they've been fascinating. I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but FAU, Northwestern, right now, Northwestern's favored. The line already came out. They're already favored in the game. Right. FAU's an 8 seed, Gus. They got 2 quad 4 losses. I mean, almost 3 basically because of Temple. What are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah, BYU Duquesne. We'll see what happens. Yeah, a lot of interesting games across the board. Next question here in the East. Upset alert. Is there one that jumps out to you here?
Definitely. I really, really feel strongly about BYU upsetting Illinois and getting to that Sweet 16 spot. BYU does so many things well. They shoot the 3 well. I think they're going to be a little upended without that major ball handler or that go-to ball handler, and I think BYU might exploit that.
All right. And the last question I will ask you is, give me a sleeper. Give me someone who you think is a sleeper that could be anything. It doesn't have to be like a 15 seed. It could be something non-traditional here. I think most people are going to look at this bracket. They're going to say UConn is through, and UConn is awesome because Marquette threw every single thing they wanted. Shaka with a great game plan. They win by 16. Right. But it was spectacular. But sleeper here, it's UConn.
It has to be Auburn to the Final Four. If there's going to be a hiccup for UConn at some point, it might be against another physical team like Auburn that can defend and will run up and down and shoot threes with them. So I think the Auburn to the Final Four pick. And then also, I'm just going to go back to that Illinois team. Morehead State has Riley Minix, who is literally leading the nation in multiple categories. He is exactly what Marcus Domask is, except leading the country in that. So I think that's an interesting matchup as well. Pay attention. That might be one of the upset ones where you get a little value.
Excellent. Yeah, folks, you heard Gus there. He's one of the best in the business. He's been fantastic for college basketball for freaking 40 years. The guy's the best. I will tell you this, bracket of death, no doubt. Top 4 teams. There's some live underdogs as well.
Yes.
Very interesting here, but this is a top-heavy bracket for sure. Gus, let's jump down here to the West bracket.
Excellent.
I don't have a feel. North Carolina, I forget who they're playing in the first round there. They got the winner of one of the games.
Howard and Wagner.
Thank you. Sorry. Howard and Wagner, Mississippi State, Michigan State, the Gales versus Grand Canyon, West Coast battle there. Alabama, Charleston, Clemson, New Mexico, Baylor, Colgate, Dayton, Nevada. Dayton is 7. Dayton is 7. Okay. Sorry. Arizona, Long Beach State. Okay, Gus, initial reaction here with this West.
I think the initial reaction is you have to put UNC through to the Sweet 16 just because of the Regency bias. They're going to be that is going to be all Carolina blue, that crowd. And I think the Alabama College of Charleston over might be in play. Both of those teams love to shoot the three. I wouldn't be surprised if that finds its way into the 80s/90s. And maybe if we're looking for a team that might upend UNC in the top seed, maybe Baylor might be that team. So those are my initial reactions. First thing that came to mind after seeing, the West bracket drop just a few minutes ago.
You want to know my initial reaction when I saw this?
Yeah.
Blow up bracket. And I'm going to tell, I don't trust Hubert. I've said that. That was a bad loss to NC State. I know you're going to tell me that DJ Burns is second coming to the Escalade, but guys, you cannot lose that game. Yes. I'm sorry. Mississippi State, Michigan State, St. Mary's, all kind of the same team. Alabama plays zero defense whatsoever. Right. My thoughts on them and Creighton. Teams that have 3-point variance are certainly vulnerable. On the bottom, like you said, Baylor, Dayton, Nevada, Arizona certainly lost to Washington State twice. So this reeks to me of there are possibilities there. I get it. North Carolina will be the heavy favorite, and maybe I'll have them going through when I take a look at it. But my initial reaction was, wow, something weird is going to happen in this bracket. Talk to me here about favorite opening round games.
Absolutely has to be St. Mary's and Grand Canyon. We have an absolute difference in styles here. We have St. Mary's that's going to beat you up and try to rebound the ball. We have Grand Canyon that has a bunch of athletes and an NBA player on their roster who wants to get up and down the floor. So you want to see which pace wins out there. And of course, I'm paying close attention to this Dayton, Nevada game. We love the folks out in Reno. They are totally pumped that their team is back in. But I don't know. Deron Holmes, this might be, you said blow up bracket. He very well might be the best player inside this bracket. Yeah. You can get an argument from a couple other places, but it's possible. And maybe sometimes the best player kind of wins out. So that would be part of the blow up that I would look at. And those are my favorite opening round matchups. Did you have one game that you were looking at or that you were intrigued by? It's
a great point because there's a handful of players, folks, that can carry their team. And Deron Holmes is one of them. I think Mississippi State is frisky in the second game, if they can get to North Carolina. I don't think Michigan State's beating North Carolina. That was my first reaction. Gus, we got a couple comments. I should put some comments in here. Let's see what we got from everybody. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Joey. Joey's a Stetson fan. Okay, Joey's upset.
Hats off then, Joey.
He's like, why UConn? Why? Joey, why not you? Why not now? Joey, please. Stetson, please.
We love Jalen Blackman.
Dustin in the house. Auburn, North Carolina, Houston, Tennessee. Auburn cutting down the nets. Dustin, definitely possible. Drew. we'll talk about this. No St. John's, no Seton Hall, no Providence. Right. Big East, no soup for you. Jason, congratulations, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, there he is, Jason.
Jason, reach out to the social media team here at FTN, which, by the way, is the lights out. We've done a great job with social media. Reach out as well. Rob Johnson in the house. We appreciate it. Bobby, yes, you are the man, Bobby. It's not me, it's you. And yes, I did the same thing I did last year. I went for a run with the same songs in the same way before I picked Florida Atlantic just to do that. Iowa State lookout, certainly reasonable. Clydes, I can't say your name, man. I love you, though. BYU's terrible in the NCAAs historically. Let's see, like 1-11 against the spread. Look, we're getting them. We have stubs.
Wow.
Stats. I love this.
Jason, this is very informative.
Jason likes Drake as that sleeper.
Sure.
Clydes wants the St. Mary's Bama matchup. Oh, give me that.
Yes, please.
I think you know.
That would be phenomenal.
Walt just had a show. Walt is live, and now he's in our show. Walt, you're the man. We love you. Gus is a stud. He certainly is right now.
Cheers,
it's okay. I got more comments. We got to get back to this here.
Okay.
Gus, give me first round upset in the West bracket.
West bracket first round upset. I think New Mexico over Clemson. That seems like an easy one. All the shine is going to go to House, but I think Dent is really the difference maker there in the backcourt. And I don't know if Clemson is going to be able to handle that backcourt, that trio in the backcourt defensively. They will be able to shoot the ball. And I know PJ Hall has had like an all ACC season, but I think that New Mexico might be the team from the Mountain West that makes a little noise, especially in this first round game.
Great. And sleeper, if let's say North Carolina didn't win it, let's say North Carolina doesn't win it, is there another team Bama? Who you look at? New Mexico?
Baylor.
Oh, Baylor. Okay.
I think Baylor could get some interesting value, and they do have NBA players on their roster, and they have some versatile wings. Do we trust Ray J. Dennis enough? That's the question.
Yeah, that's a great call. Okay, I got comments flying all over the place.
I see them too.
I'm not sleeping tonight. I really don't care because I'm real excited. And we got plenty to do. Okay, that's what my guy George, who jumped in a little early. Okay, here we go.
Keep it rolling.
Next, Gus will go to the South region, Houston, after the pummeling that Iowa State gave them. Longwood, Nebraska, Texas A&M, Wisconsin, and your James Madison Duke. I will give you the floor. Duke in Vermont, Texas Tech, NC State, Kentucky. There it is. There it is. Varsity letter. Kentucky, Oakland, Florida. Gus, who they play? They play one of Virginia, Colorado State.
Let's see. Are we looking at? We have Boise and Colorado.
Boise, Colorado. Sorry, Florida. Yeah. Florida will lose to the winner, Boise, Colorado. Sorry. Yep. And Marquette, Western Kentucky. First reaction, Gus, South region. Good.
I think Texas A&M is going to push Houston in that second round.
Got it.
I think that's the initial thought that I had right away. And does that mean that Houston's going to get upset in the second round? No. But is Wade Taylor that good? Yes. Is Buzz that great of a coach? Yes. Is Houston limited offensively at times? Yes.
Yeah. This bracket to me, first reaction, compelling first round matchups.
Yeah.
Nebraska, Texas A&M playing into Houston. You know how you beat Houston. It's the same way you beat Virginia. You have to slow them down. Texas A&M would be the team that Houston does not want to see because they will punch them in the mouth, and Wade Taylor can absolutely have a Deron Holmes-like game and carry this team all the way to the Final Four.
Great.
Wisconsin, James Madison is an incredible matchup, 5-12. I mean, what else do you want? John Becker's going to win one of these, folks. He's going to win one of them. He's a great coach. He's got his arm in a sling. I mean, on the sideline in the America's Championship game, still doing a great job. So Duke better watch out. Texas Tech, NC State, Kentucky versus Oakland. Greg Campy won at Xavier this year, 76-74, so he can win that game. Florida, they lost the big man, the 7'1" guy. I think he broke his hand today, so he's going to be out of that game. Marquette, I mean, kudos to Shaka. They get Tyler Kolek back. They can make a run. Gus, first round, favorite opening round game. Favorite opening round game? Did I ask you that?
Yeah, it has to be Boise State, Colorado. And, you and I have said since they've had the play-in game that one of these teams gets hot. Yeah. And I feel like the Boise State, Colorado winner, who I think is going to be Colorado, will get hot and will advance in this tournament. And you might find some good value there as well.
Yeah, that's fair. Give me your first round upset. Something you think would happen first round upset. Good.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The floor is yours. Sorry. Let me go up to it. Sorry, I apologize.
So we have the Dukes with 31 wins against Wisconsin. Now, please believe me, I had Wisconsin kind of earmarked alongside Auburn as one of those teams that could maybe make a Final Four push. But this matchup against JMU is just the right matchup. Like, are you going to tell me that AJ Storr is really that much better than Terrence Edwards? I don't think so. Are you going to tell me that Bickerstaff can't match up with Stahl? Like, I think they can with Kral. I think they can. So, is Tyler Wall really going to go off for 20? We can ask Mike Cutri that later, but I don't think so. So, give me my Dukes over Wisconsin for the first round upset. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as Seth Davis and say they're going to make the Sweet 16, but I think they're going to be live in this game for sure.
Odds are out on DraftKings. Houston minus 22 over Longwood. Nebraska is a 3-point favorite over Texas A&M. Want to take a guess at Wisconsin JMU?
Yeah, I bet that's about 6.
5.5. The guy is good. Duke minus 11.5 versus John Becker. Texas Tech 4.5 over NC State. Kentucky a tidy 13.5 over Oakland. And Marquette 15.5 over Western Kentucky. Sleeper, if it's not Houston?
Guess what? I think it's Duke.
Okay.
I think you're going to get great value from them because they exited their tournament so early. They're a little bit off the radar. They're not fresh on the tip of the tongue. And they do have NBA players on the roster, and they do have that developing player in McCain that you need for that deep March Madness run where that player really explodes and finds himself and plays not necessarily outside of their self, but just explodes and advances and really, really gets the attention and comes off the bench, or in his case, starts. I really like the other pieces around them. Of course, Roche, he's the key. He's got to step up. If he plays at a high level, they can make a Final Four.
Gus, really quickly, just some notes here. These are teams that are lower seeded that are favored at DraftKings Sportsbook. Okay. Teams that are lower seeded and favored. New Mexico is a 1.5-point favorite over Clemson. Nevada is a 1.5-point favorite over Dayton. Northwestern 1.5 over FAU. TCU 3.5 over Utah State. We'll get that to them in a minute. And Michigan State -2 over Mississippi State. So those are some of the favorites. We'll get to the who are underdogs. Last bracket, Gus, Midwest. Purdue versus the winner of that game. I don't have it. You can say it. Utah State versus TCU. The Zags are in as a 5. A little high for Gonzaga, but
little high
against Will Wade. Strong ass offer. Kansas a 4. Samford is a 13. My Gamecocks at 6 versus Oregon at 11. Creighton as a 3. Akron a 14. Texas a 7. They play the winner of Colorado State, Virginia. And Tennessee, too, gets, watch out, St. Peter's. Initial reacts here. Last bracket, Midwest.
So the Purdue matchup is a Montana State and Grambling. I like Montana State in that matchup to get through to face Purdue. I think that my initial reaction was that Utah State is going to smack around TCU. I think that they'll have the best player on the floor. They're playing with house money at this point. TCU and Jamie Dixon are kind of happy to be here. I don't know if they're going to have that hit the restart button that, let's make a run in March. I think they're just like an exhale, whereas Utah State is unbelievably excited to be there. I have no idea who's going to win South Carolina or Oregon. That one just baffled me. And I think that Texas is going to lose in the first round. And you called the blow-up bracket earlier. I think this is my blow-up bracket where we could see a lot of upsets and maybe an unforeseen Final Four participant.
Guys, put it in the chat. What's the spread on Gonzaga McNeese? I want to know. Will Wade's got so much talent. He steamrolled that conference. That was my first. These are some tough matchups. Listen, I like Tennessee. I got a national championship future on them. However, no team has won the national title after losing the first game in their conference tournament. Do with that as you may. But I know the playing game is lurking for Tennessee, but the rest of the bracket is reasonable. Creighton is reasonable. South Carolina. Tennessee didn't draw the gauntlet of death that is the East region. For my Tennessee, this is a reasonable draw is what I would say. Gonzaga's -6 over Will Wade.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay, thank
you.
Yeah, Jason. It's always Jason. It's tremendous. Okay. no one cheats like Will Wade. We don't, they got to win. So we all make a mistake. We move forward. Okay, excellent. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Gus, give me
what would you like?
First round upset. What do you see here? A team you think could upset in the first round?
Listen, I want so badly to go against you. I have my St. Peter's Library card here from grad school. Like, I would love to pick my Peacocks again, but that's not going to happen. How about this? How about not only do we pick Oregon to win that first round game, how about we push Oregon through to the Sweet 16? How's that? So we'll go one step further for you there. They have the immovable object in the middle, and their guard play and wing play, which is freshman based, is growing up before our eyes. So maybe that might be the play in this blow up bracket that I am unsure of.
Your favorite first round game
has to be Gonzaga McNeese, right? Yeah. I mean, Gonzaga has a streak of getting to the Sweet 16 that is unmatched. Can they get past this first game? We've seen them struggle in the first round multiple times. Even as a number one seed, will the same thing occur here? I bet this game is – I bet they're down in the first half in this game. And who knows what happens in the second game. So if you're looking for something, bet first half, second half, that first half for Gonzaga McNeese might be the place to be.
Clyde, I get this point here that they had a heartbreak. They also had a magical trip, and they needed Nembhard. I think it was against Baylor in the second round to go for 30, whatever he went for. And I get it. And it was San Diego State, who's offensively anemic. So I get it. This bracket is different in that they're going to play Akron, who's tough.
And Enrique Freeman, be careful.
Yes. Or Texas and the play-in winner. And then Tennessee. They're going to have to earn it here. And, oh, by the way, are they getting by South Carolina, who I think's beating Oregon? But, Gus, if it's not Purdue, and I have a feeling most people are not picking Purdue. I feel like they are not going to pick Purdue in this bracket. But if it's not Purdue, who's it going to be?
How about this? I think it could be Creighton. I think it could be Creighton for these reasons. Number one, they're going to shoot the three. Number two, the bench doesn't matter that much in March. It matters. I'm not saying like the bench players don't matter, but they're going to play heavy minutes. And you and I were at the Big East tournament, and we saw that Creighton is unafraid to play their guys 40 minutes. So I think if we're looking one other place for a little bit of value, they're going to not necessarily turn over the ball, like you've mentioned, not cause a bunch of turnovers, but that means their opponents are not going to the foul line either because they don't foul. So there is a uniqueness to their basketball approach, and maybe that uniqueness sneaks them through in this particular bracket.
All right, let's get to the questions here.
Yes,
UNC
please.
20-1 right now. That's their value to win. They're plus 2,000. Not bad. That is not bad for UNC with their bracket. George, you're the man. You are the man, of course. Mike is the GOAT. John, appreciate you as always. A couple of GOATs from Dream. Dream is getting warmed up for baseball. They'll be up 500 units or whatever he is. Jason has no idea what to think about Nevada Dayton. I agree with you on that one, but I do think the winner could absolutely get hot.
Yes.
You will not go broke fading Anthony Grant. Just asked Dave. Oh, that's a vote for Nevada.
Wow. Okay.
Wisconsin, JMU. It's going to be great. That really is
going to be great.
Because they, as much as I was frustrated with James Madison, I was waiting for them to get in because when they get on, they play the Knicks tomorrow. That game's going to be tied with about 2 minutes left. They're going to play it tough. We need to see what team shows up. 5 seed is it's such a perfect 5 seed. Duke is gross. Yeah, I understand that. McNeese and Samford for Jason, 2 of my favorite teams to watch. I think they collide and win their first round matchup. It is. Yeah, the Mountain West has not been great. Was not great. They were an anomaly last year. They have not gone far. But this year, certainly the best year, Gus, I've seen in the Mountain West in a long time.
And I think one of the teams that we haven't talked about yet or mentioned, and it has possibly the best player in that league, is Colorado State. They're in that playing game. They could be one of those teams that gets hot. So don't sleep on Isaiah Stevens.
Don't sleep on Isaiah Stevens. Folks, that is our show. That is whetting the appetite. That's what this is doing. I will be back. You got to be a sub and use the promo code and join us now. You will not be disappointed here. Promo code FTN March. It's one word, 35% off. You can get in for a month. What month would you rather have 35% off than right now? Congratulations to Jason again for winning his free FTN Bets package. We have our bracket previews out already. I did 2 regions. Mike Cutri did the other. We'll be back at 9 o'clock. Frank Brank may make an appearance on that because he's doing his tournament sim, so he's great locking it up. We got Walt Waddell working on 25 players to watch already. We're going to have a ton of articles. This is a week. We can't wait. Thank you so much, partner. Thanks for joining me, man. This is great.
It's the best time of year. I hope that you, your listeners, your followers, all the subs get everything and more out of this month. And they could have been anywhere else on the dial, but they chose to be here with us. Totally appreciate that.
You got it, guys. We'll be back. Get in the Discord. Start talking. We're going to find stuff. It's our time. Get to the window.